guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, it's Cass. Please like, subscribe, comment and all that fun stuff. Today's video is really exciting for me. It's something a bit different, and because this is a lifestyle channel, you guys would be used to seeing things like vlogs, beauty, makeup, skincare, hair, like all things like that. But today I want to do a video on my Game Boy collection. Yay! I love Game Boys. I love retro games. I love everything retro, vintage, just like really nostalgic things. And I thought I would share them with you guys today. So my first Game Boy I keep in this little like flower pouch like bag. It says Smile Daisy. It is so old. I have no idea where it came from. I think it was my sister's a long time ago. I'm not sure. And in this bag I keep my Game Boy Advance, some spare batteries because I don't have the chargers or anything to my Game Boys, so I just run them off batteries. They're all secondhand. This one was actually $12 from Cash Converters because it's got like a default in the screen. It's like really like dull. I know Game Boy screens are generally dull anyway just because of like how they were back then, but this one particularly is like duller than it should be, so that's why it was just $12. And I've got these 3 games. I've got SpongeBob SquarePants Lights Camera Pants, Frogger's Adventures, and Rayman Raving Rabbids. This one was probably my favourite for Game Boy Advance. I have other Game Boy games, but the Game Boy Advance games, so they're actually made to fit the cartridges in this little bit here, I only have 3. But I love them. I did end up improving the screen lighting a little bit because I watched a tutorial on YouTube, and basically I had to take it apart and yeah, adjust it sort of, but I mean it didn't really improve too much, but I'll show you guys. There you go. So it's not too bad. It's much better than it was when I got it. But I love it. This Game Boy is just my background information, I guess. It is Nintendo Game Boy Advance. It was made in 2000, and I got it from Cash Converters for $12 because the screen, like the lighting was really bad, like you could barely see it. But I took it apart and like fiddled around with it, watched some things on YouTube of how to improve it a little bit, improved it a bit. But yeah, that is it. So I keep my other Game Boy in this bag. I've had it for many years. I do remember where this one came from though. My sister and brother-in-law got it for me for Christmas when I think I was probably like 13 maybe. So it's like a pencil case, but I never actually used it as a pencil case with pencils in it. I always just kept like cool little things in it. And as soon as I got my Game Boy Color, same color as my jumper, I straight away decided to keep it in here and keep all my games in here. And I also, just like the little flower bag as well, keep some spare batteries because, like I said, I don't have the chargers to these. Like, I think they've got like a charging port, but like I've never had the charger cords. Could probably get one like online or something, but batteries work fine for me. So Game Boy Color was made in '98 and I was born in '96, so like I never really grew up playing Game Boys. I was like that little bit too young. My brother did play them, but I think my brother played them, but I'm not too sure like what happened with his, or yeah, I'm not too sure. And he's like 6 years older than me, so there's like that gap as well, but I'm just not too sure. And him, like a lot of other people, are very much like move on to the next like cool console or like next thing out, whereas I get more and more drawn to the older games. The older the better, even if the graphics are really bad and it's like stinging your eyes. it's glitchy, that's fine. I just love the nostalgia and like the history. Like there's something about retro games. So this one, I actually bought it from a market not too long before I had cardiothoracic surgery, because I was humming and hawing and I was thinking like, I want a Game Boy, but I don't really need a Game Boy. I got my little Game Boy Advance, but I kind of just really want a Game Boy. And I was just going kind of back and forth on it, and then when it was confirmed that I needed to have the surgery, I thought, well, if I have to go through with this, you know, I'm gonna buy myself a Game Boy because I deserve a Game Boy. And that is how we got this precious. And that's when I bought like all the games and stuff for it as well, because the Game Boy Advance games, they work in here. The cartridges fit in the Game Boy Advance, but they don't for the Game Boy Color. Like the prongs come down to like here, and the game just wouldn't fit, like it wouldn't reach. So it was all new games as well, but because I was getting it secondhand and buying like everything, like the console and the games, like I ended up getting a pretty good deal. You can still use like this one, for example, is a Game Boy game. So these ones are Game Boy games, like the little flat cartridges, and you can still use them in the Game Boy Advance, but it just sticks out like that. I've still got the price on that one. It was $15. Conker's Pocket Tales. And it still works, but it just sticks out. But that's fine. So I have these ones that are original Game Boy games, and these ones that are Game Boy Color. So meaning Game Boy games were made for the one before this, but they also work on this, and the ones that are Game Boy Color, it just has a little bit more color, the graphics are better, and it's just slightly improved. But I love both games just as much. So now I'm going to go through my game collection. I'm really excited. So the first I just showed you guys is this Conker's Pocket Tale, and this one I actually got probably like the beginning of the year, and I haven't played it that much, but I'm really excited to, because it's by this like company, Rareware I think, or something, and this little squirrel is off another game called Conker's Bad Fur Day, and that is by far my absolute favourite game of all time. So to have like a little like side game with that character is really cool. Oh, this one actually isn't a Game Boy game, it's like a rip-off kind of one, just like a Japanese, like, yeah, it's not actual Nintendo brand. Like, it's hard to explain, but they've got it like lines through the O's, and instead of TM for trademark they have TN. So it's like very sneaky, because I actually picked this game up thinking it was a Game Boy game, and then the guy was like, oh, I don't know how that got in here. That's not an official Nintendo game, and just gave it to me for free, because to him it's worth nothing, because the people that like collect these games and sell them and that, a lot of the time they're serious collectors, so he was happy for me to just take this. And I like it. It's got like little Mario games on it, it's got like lots of little mini games, and it's got Tetris. There's something so nostalgic about playing Tetris on a Game Boy that I just can't explain. I have a lot of Mario games because I grew up playing Mario, and I love it. I've got this Game & Watch Gallery 3. It's Mario, and it's really cool. It's got kind of like mini games and that in it, so it's really good. These mini games are great for like if you don't want to just be like sitting down and like playing for ages, or like me, I don't like to play a game for too long, so it's really perfect for me. This one's Game Watch Gallery 3 and this one's Game Boy Gallery 3. So they look the same, well, sort of, not really, but they are both just basically lots of mini games in them. They've got like Donkey Kong and like Mario. It's just really cool. My favourite Mario character was always Yoshi, and I really like them. The next one I have is this Mario and Yoshi. This one's really good as well. I didn't even know this one existed like before I got the Game Boy, so like, because I had played like Nintendo 64, but I hadn't really played much in the way of Game Boy. So when I found games like this and this other one, Yoshi's Cookie, I was so excited because I was like, I didn't even know this existed, but they are so cool. This one, I was really surprised. I thought it would be more like this one, like an adventure one, but it's like a puzzle game. But I really dig it, I really like it, and it's Yoshi and it's cookies, so like, how could I not? So I've got these two. I have this Bart and the Beanstalk Simpsons game, and this one is really good. It's like an adventure kind of one, so like you've got to pass the levels and that kind of thing. Like, it's really cool. I really like it. And I love The Simpsons. I grew up absolutely loving The Simpsons, so this is so nostalgic to me. The last one that is like an original like Game Boy game is my absolute favourite out of all of the games that I own, actually, out of all the Game Boy games that I own, and that is this Pokemon Gold version. I love it, and there's something so nostalgic as well about like Pokemon on the Game Boy that I just, I can't explain. So I started playing my Game Boy more like when I was recovering from surgery, nowhere near as much as I planned to. I didn't realise I'd be that sick and that tired, but when I could, I was playing it a lot, and my friend, she actually had a Game Boy growing up that she hadn't touched in years. She didn't play it anymore, so she gifted me this game, and I was so grateful because I didn't have any Pokemon games, and I've found them a lot harder to come by. Like Mario ones, there's a lot of them and they're relatively easy to find, but Pokemon ones I've found can be a bit tricky to find, so for her to just gift this to me was so nice, and it's so pretty as well. It's gold, and it's sparkly, and it's Pokemon. So out of my Game Boy games, this is my absolute favourite. Now for the Game Boy Color games, so same thing really, they fit into the Game Boy just like those ones, and they fit into the Game Boy Advance just like those ones, but they stick out at the back. Sorry, I've still got the price on some of these, like this one was $6. It works on both consoles. And these two actually, I'm really sad to say, they don't work. They have never worked. I've never actually played them before. I got them when I very first got the console. It is Buzz Lightyear, Star Command, and Chicken Run. I don't know why they don't work, but I had like the surgery and everything, and I couldn't just like go back and get them replaced or whatever. But I've had this like with older games before, where sometimes they just need to be taken apart and like cleaned. So I do plan on like maybe taking these apart, cleaning them up, and then seeing if they work on the Game Boy, rather than just like giving up on them. But all these things are secondhand as well, so like I know that it is like that risk when you buy something like that. I will give these a clean at some point, take them apart and have a play around with them, and hopefully one day get them working. And my last two games, Game Boy Color, are The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror and Wario Land 3. These are really cool. I've only just realised, like, while filming this video, I have literally the prices on almost every single one that I bought. So I think this is my most expensive game, and it was 20 bucks. But because like these games and that, and the people that run the store, it's usually commission based, they're usually more than happy to do you up like a deal. So if you're buying like a few different games and things like that, I'll turn on this one to show you. The light is really dim. I want to get it's called a worm light. I think you can get them online, but like it's a little light that connects up here and it shines on your screen. And because my eyesight's not that great when it comes to screens, I think it would be really cool. Look, a Lapras. I won't make you guys like sit and watch while I play, but I am really excited to show you guys. I love this so much. I love both my consoles, and I know it's not necessary to have two, but I was very serious about collecting Game Boy games, and yeah, I love them all so much. And it is really cool to have two actually, because like sometimes I'll have like a gaming day with a friend or with Ryan, and we'll just play like really old retro games and like sit around like Game Boys and that. It's really cool, really fun, really chill. Anyway, I really hope that this was interesting for you guys and you got to learn a little bit more about me. I know that this is a little different, it's not something you'd expect to see on a lifestyle channel, but thank you so much for your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe and comment below anything you have to add about these games, or like if you had, like what was your favorite, if you've ever played them, if you've ever played a Game Boy, or if you plan on trying to get one. I'm really intrigued to hear, because with the way the world's going and technology always evolving, there's not that many people around that are really interested in old games like me. So if you're one of those people who are really like nostalgic and into that old stuff, please comment, connect. It'd be great to talk to someone else who gets it. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe. Thank you all. Love you. Bye.